I also want to address one of the most ridiculous hot takes that come out of the budget, where those who just simply hate the government that was the one presiding over this budget, that they would have hated anything that came out as a result of this budget. Here's one of the hot takes from those with a guaranteed job who voted themselves a pay rise while their other colleagues in the media were losing their jobs, or other people in the real world had to take one hell of a pay cut.
This recession is really different from the 90s and 80s recessions in that it's hit women harder, and yet there doesn't seem to be a huge amount for women in the budget. And I think that's it's an oversight that will probably become more apparent in the days to come.
Now, surprise, surprise, brain fart on Twitter, echoed on Channel 2, which of course means Albo had to say it too.
The burden of the Morrison recession has disproportionately fallen on women. Why is the government racking up $1 trillion of Liberal debt without a plan to support the participation of women in the workforce? Why has the Prime Minister left women behind in this budget?
OK, let's ring the bell of bullshit on all of this. Yes, there were an awful lot of women who lost casual jobs as a result of what has happened in the past few months. But when tax cuts or things that help businesses get stronger is the entire point and purpose of the budget, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, gay or straight, black or white, fat or thin. Tax cuts will help women in the workforce, and incentives for businesses to get stronger, to hire more people, will help more women. That's the truth. Here's something that neither Albo or Taxpayer Television could be bothered to show you. I will. There are 6 million women who have a job in Australia. There are almost 800,000 women who run a business in Australia, and 60% of the hundreds of thousands of jobs that have been returned to the economy as principally places like New South Wales come out of lockdown have gone back to women. Women who work get a tax cut. Women who will be employed get a tax cut. Here's the list of what you earn or what you might hope to earn and what you're going to get out of the tax cut. It doesn't matter if you're a bloke or if you're a Sheila. If you're married, somebody of the opposite sex, the same sex. Whether you're single, whether you like playing video games or not. You'd get $500 if it's $40,000, $50,000, $1,000, $1,500 if it's $100,000, and higher to the ABC wage of $200,000, where you're going to get $2,500. The average Australian earns $84,968, which means they are going to get $1,000 back of their own money. That is how this budget is gender neutral. Because it doesn't see race, it doesn't see gender, it sees workers. It doesn't care what their political affiliation is. It doesn't care where they live. It's just an entire system that has been put in place to blow out the clog in the Australian economic pipe, to blow it out to make sure that money flows again. It flows to workers who then go off and spend it at the shop, and it flows to businesses to hire more people. The Prime Minister will be our guest in a few moments here. Here's just a sample of that very point.
Well, this budget is very straightforward. It's about jobs. The success criteria is more jobs and businesses employing more people. Businesses responding to what we've put in this budget, which is a recovery plan. It's a recovery plan for their business. It's a recovery plan for people's livelihoods.